And we're back with another episode of Let's Play Shining Force. I'm your host, the RPG guy, and let's get to it. So when we last left off, we had gotten through the first battle. The earthquake blocked the road. Head north, but be ready for battle. And we now have to make our way through here. Now there's two real main things to know about locations and battles. I call them outdoors and indoors. Now the outdoor ones are usually because they're outdoors. And outdoors meaning not just outside, but in the what would be considered the world map. So this is actually the world map, as far as I'm concerned. As we play through the game, there will be battles that take place in towns, castles, dungeons, various locations, okay? I consider all of that to be kind of indoor. And the reason I say that is because they have one thing in common. They all have very negotiable terrain. The weakness of Shining Force 1, which was something they improved upon in all other Shining games after this one, is that the outdoor battles, or world map battles, take a long time to get through. They're very slow, and you'll notice my characters can't seem to get past themselves. So, no, jokes aside, what makes them very difficult battles is that, or time-consuming battles, is that your movement is hindered by the terrain. Terrain can benefit you and hurt you in various ways. The more difficult the terrain, the better your defense is, but the slower your movement is. Your ability to move X amount of squares is hindered by the land. So if you're wondering why some landmass shows that you can move a little further in one direction, but you couldn't in another, is usually because the land that is beneath your character's feet doesn't allow for optimal movement. Okay, well, now with that said, again, the perk of being in tough terrain or rough terrain is that you get a defense bonus. There's pretty much three types of terrain: 30%, 15%, and 0%. 30% means that you're going to get a 30% defense bonus because of the terrain you're in, as does the enemy. So it goes both ways. The 15%, and now what is 30% terrain? It's going to be hills, it's going to be forests, it's going to be swamps, it's going to be anything that looks pretty thick to walk through. Is usually going to be outright what the harsher terrain is. 15% tends to vary even more so. It tends to be grasslands, meadowlands, certain dirt areas that are just dirt sometimes. But and as you can see here, pathways count as that. And then there's places that are zero terrain benefit. Zero terrain usually is like a legitimate road, like a bridge, a stone bridge, or a stone bridge, or like a paved road, or something along those lines, where you gain no benefit because of the terrain. There's going to be a couple of places where you will see that. It's not common, but it does happen enough that it's important to be wary of it. The other thing is flying units and enemies have 0% bonus no matter where they are, because they're flying. Get it? They don't benefit from terrain. So those are something. Now there's a class in this game that is the only one of its kind that slightly alters that rule, because it's not technically flying, because even flying units can get over mountains. This unit actually cannot traverse over mountains, but it can traverse normal movement through everything else. And I want to say that that unit does get land effect bonus. Again, I'm not worried about it. We'll when we get to that part of the game, we'll observe it for sure, and then I'll get back to you on that for sure. But yeah, so grinding in these battles is completely and utterly pointless. There is no reason to grind enemies in these outdoor battles. They take way too long to get through. You're getting tired and burnt out by the time you get through it. And you'll notice there doesn't look like there's that many enemies, but the enemies are all soaking up that defense, or benefiting rather from the defense of the terrain, making it harder for us to get through this dump. I mean, this wonderful, wonderful outdoor experience. So grinding levels here is very much a big no-no. There's no reason to do it unless you're a glutton for punishment, which sometimes I am. It depends on the day of the week. But yeah, there's no point in repeating battles that kind of do that. Now, like I said, in later Shining games, Shining Force games to be specific, this isn't, they lighten up with the nonsense outdoor, terrain. But in Shining Force 1, one of the biggest, most critical aspects of it is that almost every single, excluding a couple, okay, let me put a number on it. Let me say like 90% of the outdoor battles have dense foliage and terrain that you have to navigate. And again, it comes at a big thing. There are classes that can negate the movement penalty, so they can still move in that terrain. They can move in the terrain without it, and still gain the benefits of that terrain, but it doesn't hinder their movement. So there are classes and characters that have that issue. Now, the reverse is also true, or the counterpoint is also true. There are character classes that are penalized even harder with their movement because of the terrain, and one of the biggest classes that sticks out is not really a class outright. It is a species that gets the penalization, and it's Centaurs. And there's 2 Centaur classes in this game. The primary one is Knights, and then there's a ranged Centaur class that we see on the closer to the back end of the game, and they are hindered by the outdoor movement. So it's something to keep in mind when forming your party. It's not like a huge deal. It's not like you need to literally from the ground up design your entire battle party based on movement and benefits and whatnot. There's characters that actually start with a base movement of 4, which the average character gets a base movement of 5 and 6. So it's really kind of you got to figure that out yourself. What's more important to you, movement wise, and getting your characters to and fro and all of that. It becomes a big deal later in the game, but early on, you don't notice the movement issues until about, I'd say, after chapter 4. Then you really start getting into, oh my god, why can't I move? And again, like I said, it's something that they really did a great job rectifying in Shining Force 2. And you don't see it as much in Shining Force Guidance 1 and 2 or Final Conflict as much. Nothing like as often as, nothing even close to as to what you see in Shining Force 1. So, yeah. Whereas even like in the first chapter, there's already one where you're negotiating this rough terrain just to get to the other side of the open area. Again, it's not the end of the world. It's not a big deal. It's just something that to be aware of. There will be slower battles because of that factor. Ooh, you're a mean one, Mr. Burns. So Luke levels to 4. Sweet. Ow, he hit me. Can get on it. I don't want him to get a kill. Rather, one of the healers, specifically Gong, get it. Peace. Mr. Burns. You see, quick to get our characters to the other side here. Even if Hans does fucking miss! We gotta get that dwarf out of there. He's really the one that's plugging up the hole, not the goblin so much. You might assume that it's the goblin, but it's really the dwarf. The dark dwarf. We get the kill. Yeah. Time to die, dwarfy. Alright, let's move to range. Oh my god, regular terrain. Ah. At least something close to it. I'm not gonna need that much healing. Not this time. So like I said, we're not gonna repeat this battle at all. If I can avoid it. But we do have another battle coming up where we're gonna want to repeat it at least a couple of times. Just to round off some levels of plausible, useful characters. So, it's a thing. It's a thing. The only reason we would invest in getting them up is there's... I'll explain it when we get there, because we're kind of a little far out from getting there. Alright, as we make our way down and around. Mr. Burns! Over. How is actually Gong doing here? He's a bit of away from a level. He's at least one heal and a kill. Low is a kill away from a level on a decent enemy, so we could try to get Low to 4, but again, long term, I'm not that worried about it. I think I mentioned in the last episode, Low's probably not going to be a long-term character. Solo snap! Some purist Shining Force fan is like, how dare you? Like, how dare you? Silence, fool! Alright, we will... Yeah, it's, like I said, about a third of these battles are pretty annoying, maybe even half. Just because the terrain makes it so hard for you to move. It actually gets to the point of maximum frustration. Just trying to get through the level, man. What are you gonna put all those trees there, bro? One thing if they were teaching you that, you know, but they get a little carried away with it. We get Blaze level 2 for Tau, which is great. It's a big risk. We don't want to risk this because we don't have to do this whole fight over again. So we need to make an executive decision of who we're going to send over there. Because Ken doesn't need to be sent. He can reach. So we're probably going to send Luke to weaken any knight he probably can't kill. Or now that one knight's really weak, we don't need to send any knights. We can send anybody at this point. Again, weakening enemies, that way a healer could go over there and pick them off. Yeah! That's what I likes. Send Max over to pick off this one. Might level from it too. If not, he'll be close. Nah, he's close. Get Low there. Gong needs to get in there. Yeah, at this point, Max is probably the lowest level melee fighter, I think. Like, legit melee fighter, outright. Which, again, not a problem. We just gotta get him caught up. We'll pull him back. No, actually, I lied. We'll have him kill the other knight if his turn comes up. You can work on the Dark Dwarf. I forgot Ken was that far behind, too. Everybody over here, kind of, to a degree. the way I want it to. Just heal again. So let me think, how many battles are in this chapter? 4? Yeah, 4. Not a problem. Now that the knights are gone, this battle becomes pretty straightforward. Nice level there with Max getting an attack of 4. That's huge at this stage of the game. Now Ken needs to gain a level. Or not. Come on, gong. Attaboy. Well done, Shining Farce. Now enter Guardian and find out what's happened there. You made it back. You're a little late. We're almost over. We were almost overrun by Runefaust. We held them off, but we suffered greatly, as you'll see as you wander around. Most of the knights were lost in the battle. Many homes were damaged, but we held. We'll keep watch here. Runefaust is bound to attack again sooner or later. Reep deep deep. You know what? That little fracas made me want to fight again. Max, I'm joining up. And we get Gong, who is a pretty much just is another Luke. He's a warrior. But him and Luke tend to level very differently. And some people like that difference and some people don't. It's more of a personal preference. And we'll explore that more as we get further into the game. Hurry, Max. King of Runefaust has injured the king and Lord Varios. Go away, Kain. I don't understand what you were talking about. Anyway, the treasure of Guardian is in my hands now. I won't let you take that. Just leave. Sword of Darkness, show me your power! Rah! Varios dies. No, Father, I can't believe it. I'll fucking murder you, man. Now, Guardian is unworthy of my attention. Farewell, fools. Max, look to the king. Max, May, I don't think I'll live much longer. The Varios protected me. Listen, the Gate of the Ancients is the only access to the tower. And the gate can be opened only by the key. You must find it before it falls into the hands of evil. You should never let them open the gate. Find out why Runefaust is interested in the gate. Please. May, daughter of the great Varios, help Max. Avenge your father and be strong. Your Majesty, please tell my daughter Henri and Monarina to stay strong for her people. Bleh. Did he say marinara? Now is not the time for tears and grief. Alterone should be our next goal. Max, let's go find that key. I don't want to see any more of these tragedies. I'll await you at headquarters. So we get another knight. Be quick. We get May the knight. She gets the job done. This was an area we didn't actually have access to earlier. We now have access to. And we're going to find us some goodies here. As you will see, we find consumables, which we will pass around accordingly. Angel Wing, which we will sell accordingly, because there's really no reason to have one. Unless you're trying to play a low-level game, and you need maybe secondary characters to be able to aggress out of battle. Which is what that item does. It's pretty much a free aggress. We're going to just move the Angel Wing over one by one character. And then what we'll do is we'll take the medical herb and the antidote and put both of those on Gong for now. Lo eventually will actually learn the detox spell, making antidotes somewhat useless. And Gong has low MP at the moment, so giving him an antidote will allow him to, and the healing herb will allow him to keep gaining XP because Healers still get 10 XP for using a healing item. So, I believe all the characters do, but even if they don't, it just makes more sense to pass them around that way. Let's go ahead and pass these 2 items. Now, these are stat boosting items. My warning and my strategy to this is usually not to waste those until you know what your endgame characters are going to be. Who your endgame characters are going to be, rather. And then what you also want to consider is that you take stat hits when you promote. So you actually kind of want to hold on to those items and then use them after characters have promoted. There's also some people who even just stuff all of those items, 90% of them, on the main character max. Again, there's no right or wrong answer to any of it. It's really up to you how you want to do it. But again, some ways are easier than others. Now what we're going to do is we're going to buy a spear, and we're going to give it to May. And the reason we're giving it to May is because giving knights, this is a good habit to get into in any of the Shining Force games, is anytime a character can use a melee weapon and a ranged weapon as an equipable weapon, they can swap back and forth between the short range and long range. You want to give the character that versatility. That versatility is huge. It's night and day when you have a unit, especially knights, that can reach at range and up close. Max, enemies await you on the road to Alterone. Take all precautions. So, and you might have said, well, wait a minute, wasn't there a new weapon there? Actually, no, there really isn't. So, we're going to move on. And this is another battle that we just need to get through. We don't care too much about the levels. What we do want to focus on, though, to a degree, is to make sure we get Gong low, to a degree low, May and Gort up, at least to match everybody else in the party who's already at 4. That would be the battle goal here. Do we achieve? That's another story, because you notice May joins at level 2, which is pretty low. And we need to get Ken to level 4 as well, to a degree here. Here come the Dark Dwarves. Let them come. Let them come. Let them come. As you'll notice, Luke is wearing their damage pretty well. As he's only taking 2 damage, in this case 4, because the enemy attacked twice. The Dark Dwarves will be the best way for May and Gort to level. And we'll deal with them accordingly as best as we can here. We want to really weaken them. We want to weaken almost all the enemies that are in this lower half of the map. That way they can be picked off by May and Gort. It's a good way to get them easily caught up. And some of you who actually may have an idea of who I'm already going to take with me to endgame, you still need a competent force. You can't just level up the characters you want, even in a casual playthrough. Even if you're like playing a new game and you've played this game many times, you still need a party that can handle everything. If you feed all your XP to 1 to 2 characters, or not 1 to 2, but like 5 to 4 or 5 characters, it ends up getting harder and harder for the characters, for you to actually get through battles, because you allow characters to fall so freaking far behind that they have no means to actually defend themselves or damage enemies until you get the characters you want. So realistically, even in some of the most advanced variants of this game out there, I would still argue it's in your best interest to level all your characters semi-evenly, with a focus on the characters you do plan on taking to endgame. Focus on them the most, of course, so if you want, make sure they're a level or 2 ahead of everyone else. But beyond that, there's not much point in keeping everyone up if you're not going to use them. And again, that's your discretion. I killed a Dark Dwarf on accident earlier, because that's just sometimes going to happen. Because, whoops. I hit him hard! So here comes May, who probably can't kill a Dark Dwarf on her own. Yeah. And this is the problem with some of these characters, too, is that you may, want to use them, but then you got to get them kind of caught up. And that's one of those things that I like to say is easier said than done. So some people say, well, when's a good idea to bring up characters that even though you don't plan on using them, When is a good time to level them up a bit and get them on the way to being more useful? And my answer is still the same. It's going to be the same answer. At the same time, we would bring up other characters too. Just bring them along for the ride, and let them level up a bit in those battles. Now, with these new enemies, bats, we have our first flying units, which they have, I believe, high agility, which means they can dodge a bit better. I forget if that's relevant, to be honest. Part of me is like, yeah, I believe that they tend to be harder to hit than most other enemy types. But the thing that doesn't alone make them annoying. What makes them really annoying is that they have a passive status effect that they can utilize where they hit a character and then that character falls asleep. And sleep status in Shining Force 1 and other Shining games is relatively random. You're just sitting around waiting for the sleep to end. I don't believe lose defense or anything. Like, you don't take a penalty to your defensive stats because of it or anything. But it's just fundamentally a pain in the butt because you're at the mercy of the various enemies, attacking you, and you can't fight back. And you could be in a position where you're knocked into sleep, and then you're blocking the means for other characters that could kill it to get up there and kill it. So yeah, sleep is an annoying status effect to be hindered by. I hate it a lot. So, all right, let's move. Nice whiff there, huh, Hans? You trying to get me killed? Idiot! And again, we're trying to set up enemies for our newer characters to pick off, or lower level characters, and yada yada yada. Tastes like healing. The levels of 4, and there's the detox spell. Woo. Not too many enemies poison you. It does happen, and sometimes it happens more than a lot of people would openly admit to. But it does happen. It's just not a big deal. You can usually heal it. It does 2 damage at the end of every turn. So that's usually one of the reasons why people kind of hate it. But it doesn't really bug me that much. I always cure it because it's 5 XP to any character that cures it. I believe. Unless let me rephrase. It's 5 XP to any healer that cures it, and not every healer gets the detox spell. And it's just one of those spells that you kind of think to yourself, why is that there? I get it that it cures poison and all of that, but most of the time you just either A, tough it out, or B, you cure it and move on with your day. The XP you get from it's not enough to warrant worrying about it, but it's not. The status effect doesn't appear enough that you need to have characters with antidotes on their person. The only items that you need to have on your person that are not weapons, or like there's rings in this game that up your stats, I would say are herbs and healing seeds. HP healing items are probably the most relevant thing you should ever have in your inventory in this game. Anything else is kind of up to you. Nice, perfect right for the pickings. We'll let Hans get a kill here, just because. We have 3 enemies that can be picked off by anybody at this point, so it doesn't make sense to risk too much just to get a level here or there. So you notice Max is sleeping. He's not. We don't need him to move or get any XP or take a turn, so it's not, in my opinion, a big deal. We'll keep him healed up, but beyond that, I don't give a crap. Tau north. Still got bats and knights to kill. Still got our work cut out for us. Max is still asleep. It is rather random when they wake up, too, so... Again, it's a mild annoyance, but nothing, like, game-breakingly bad. I think somebody once, back in, like, 2005, put a rumor out that there was an item that cures sleep or something in the code, and there's no Game Genie code, so... It doesn't imply that it doesn't exist. It's just, it's not in any version of the game I've ever seen, so... That's the other thing, too, with this game. There's a lot of people with... Not a lot of people within the fanbase, but there's a handful of people within the fanbase who have made some pretty absurd claims, you know, so... Just as a heads up, don't be swayed or fooled by those people. Those claims are mostly bogus. There are some, all of the hidden things that are in this game we're going to make a very great diligence to ensure that we get those secret items and characters and things. There's a couple of items in the game too that are in the Japanese version but not in the US version, and we don't know what they do. Nobody's ever figured out what their purpose was, because they don't even seem to serve a purpose in the Japanese game to any degree that anybody's ever reported on. But like I said, we're going to do our diligence to find in all the... We're going to try to pretty much mostly at least attempt to find all the characters. If my memory doesn't fail me, which sometimes it does, I forget. Oops, forgot to grab that character. Whoops! Walked right by the guy. No, we're going to pretty much get all the characters. We're going to do a lot of... We're going to find the secret outfits. There are secret outfits in this game. For 2 characters, and I'll probably use them and then store them later, because as far as I'm concerned, it takes up a perfectly good inventory slot to have them equipped, so I tend not to bother with them. And they're outfits that only work on the overworld. They don't work in battles, so you're not even getting as much of a benefit out of it as you would think. Like, oh, maybe they'll look different in the actual battle. No, it's just cosmetic for the overworld. So, take with that with what you will. And this is why we bring an herb with us and give it to Gong, because he's already out of MP, but he's still got XP for doing it. Do you always need to have a healing item on Gong? No, I usually just give it to him as I find them. Just to answer that, and just to clarify there, we're gonna have Tao pretty much commit suicide here, in-game suicide, by taking out these 3 knights, making her 100% vulnerable to them. And she actually killed one outright, which is hilarious. Sweet. And yeah, if all she's got to do is get hit by one with a crit. And okay, so any one of them could pick her off. May's up. Again, I'm not worried about the army of bats really that much. The knights do more damage, so. And so in other words, the knights to me are a bigger threat. Come on, load. Don't fail me now. Yeah, he even got a crit. Nice shooting there, Lo. Oh, it's the little things in life. No, Tao, don't go. That's okay. It was meant to be. Gort might be able to kill a Rune Knight. He should be able to kill a Rune Knight. Oh, so close. Gort, you bum! We need to work on this healthy knight. Now you might say, why do Luke and Gort have different weapons? The same reason Ken and May do. They came with actual improved weaponry. But we're going to be dealing with a more specific thing in a little bit here. That's actually kind of interesting, that a lot of people miss out on. They burn holes in their wallets when patience is really the true virtue. Alright, Ken levels. Sweet. Of course, Gort can only reach one dude. Freak fine. Get up there, Gort. Show him what you got. Nice. Not bad. It's better than what I'm sorry, that's Gong. It's better than what Gort was doing earlier. May as well. Beats having him stand around and tickle his butthole. Which sounds like something Hans would really do. Okay, I'm just saying. Why do you gotta judge a guy based on his personal hobbies? He's not hurting anybody. Leave him alone. He's doing his thing. He's twiddling his butthole. He's on the search. Think of it as he's on the search for corn. Oh, speaking of corn, he just died. And finally, Max wakes up. That was a particularly longer sleep spell. May can't kill either of them outright. Put her over here, as far as I'm concerned. Nice whiff there, May. You want to try again? Nice. Now they can be picked off. Ouch. Gotta kill that other knight. Or we heal Gort. We'll heal Gort. I almost accidentally heal myself. Or have Low heal himself. Which is not what I want to have happen. Like I said, this battle is just the lamest. These outdoor battles are the worst. Or the overworld battles are the worst, I should say. They're just the worst. Ooh, Luke almost got wrecked. I mean, he did technically. You could argue that he got wrecked just now, but... Whoo! And down a very dark road there. At that point, it's just like, kill him, get it over with. Before they murder your face! Alright. No level there. That's, again, that's just the way that's going to go sometimes. Move Gong over. And now she's asleep. Dandy! Again, it's what makes dealing with bats no fun at all. Is that they can just swarm someone and just do reckless amounts of actually reckless isn't the right word, but seemingly endless amounts of damage, because the enemy characters near them can't always fight back. Again, it's annoying for sure, but it's not like they're hitting like trucks. It's just really, really grating as you're trying to get through an area, and just seems like you're not able to, because you're constantly having to wake people up from their slumber, and waking meaning you got to stand around and wait a while because you ain't getting it, because there is no way to cure it. All right. Gong actually, his attack is not that bad. It's just, for some reason, he missed! And now Max is asleep. Oh my god. You're gonna put the whole force to sleep, but that's right. They could. Not really, but it'd be funny if they did. It'd be really funny, actually. Alright, so May wakes up. We're gonna leave Ken where he is, because Gort can now go in here and start fiddling with these fools. Which is kind of what we want. But Gort, actually, you have to hit him, motherfucker. You can't just swing your axe at them and go hee, and then hope to hit them. You know what? Let's just end this fight. I'm already getting annoyed by it. Alright, and we'll heal Low, which will be the last of Low's MP. Like how it's running away. Like it knows it's done goof. Where you going, bro? Resistance is futile. No, not textile, futile. Come on, May, don't fuck this up. Yeah. We need to do some damage to this bat. Gong, that's two, buddy. Well, you know, you're asking him to punch a bat right out of the air. It's kind of a ridiculous expectation. Shut up! There we go. Punch that bat. Right in its face. Not enough to level. Lo, get your goofy ass in there. And the battle is wild and excellent. Kain will have to do better than that to stop you. On to Alterone. So we'll head to Alterone. We'll head to Abalone. As we just came from Garjana. Come up with weird ways to say all the names of the towns in this game. And we get a bronze lance, so that's a free upgrade for Ken. We get 70 bucks. It's just coins, not bucks. Buck hides. It's back all the way out. Good day. Greetings, Max. With my powers, I can see. I can see the future. Care to know your fate? Sure. Death lies to the north. Go back to Guardiana, for your doom awaits if you continue. Shut up. I am invincible. Invincible. So we're gonna come over here. To some more chests. As this old codger gets out of the way. 50 bucks is ours. Get a healing seed. We'll give that to Gong. As far as I'm concerned. Pass this to Ken. As stated, we'll pass this to Gong. Another 50 bucks. Give me 50 bucks. You must be Max, right? Yes, I knew it. I lived in Guardiana until a few months ago. I just heard a rumor. A friend of mine told me that Guardiana was totally wiped out. Is that true? No. Good, but my friend has already left to inform the castle. It wasn't entirely wiped out. There's still people there. Now, you see all these goodies here? Don't buy any of it. But the hand axe, don't buy any of it. You don't needs it. But the you don't needs it. What a rude thing to do. Mud all over my new dress. Ugh, I can't stand it. I'll get you. Ooh. I get a power potion. Nice. The power. How do we get back? Hey, look at that. We'll pass this power potion to somebody. Probably just put it on court for now. I just wanted it on my way. And we get a medical herb. If I say medicinal herb, I'm sorry, I'm thinking of different games. Because there's a game I was playing recently where they kept using the word medicinal. And I was like, ah! The king called the friar to the castle. I always wanted to stand up here. What a douchebag! You sacrilegious son of a bitch! I'll kill ya! I really don't care. More power to you, buddy. Because we get another delicious healing seed, which we will pass to probably Low. Gong's running out of room. We get a middle sword. Ooh! And nothing is found. So middle sword is better than the short sword that Luke has. Hence why we did not buy an axe. There's no point to buy an axe. But wait, there's more! A medical herb. No, but I mean there's a lot more. Give me a second here, and we'll sort this out really quick. We will pass the medical herb to Gong. We'll put it on low. Same with the other seed for now. This middle sword can go to Luke. And we had a healing seed, right? We can actually, we'll pass that to Gong. It fills up Gong's inventory, but I'm not worried about it. He'll end up using at least the herbs, and he'll probably sit on the seeds for a while. For a little while. We'll disperse things a little better after we collect everything too. As you can see, there is a whole bunch of goodies to find in the castle. The castle! Anyways, we get another delicious healing seed. A wooden arrow, which does us no good other than to sell it, because that's all it's worth. That's quite literally all it's worth, man. Not gonna lie, man, it's not worth anything, bro. Be very careful when you meet the king, that's all I dare say. King, he's got a gun! We get 100 coins. Get a defense potion. Finding all kinds of goodies. Oh, whoops. We need to make some room here. Again, something they fixed in later Shining games was when the main character's inventory is full, it automatically passes stuff to other characters, which makes this a lot easier. Put that there. And we'll pass this healing seed to Love. And there's another middle sword, yeah! Which is great because we can put that on Gort. Because the middle sword is better, just barely better than the short axe. And you'll see in a moment here. It's one of the things you don't really need to buy. Technically, we didn't need to even buy the spear for May. I just do it because of the versatility. Who are you? Nay. There's nothing here to see. Go away. Enemies? What enemies? Get back upstairs. I'm just telling you what I saw. Really quick, I want to say that that's everything, but we'll double check in a minute here. What? Runefoss attacked Guardiana? Hard to believe. Follow me, Max. I have a tactician we should consult with on this matter. I smell bullshit. And it's stanky, too. Alright, really quick, I just want to check something before we get further here. I don't believe there is anything. Yeah, there's nothing over here. Alright, and we don't need to worry about going down there right now either. We will come over this way. No. We get a useless wooden staff. All these useless items. And really quick, before we do anything else, let's get Ken geared up here, as well as Luke and Gort. So as you can see, it's 1 point better than the actual axe, and that means that's going to be a big upgrade for Luke. Much bigger upgrade for Luke. Hence why it's kind of worth waiting it out.
Surprised, Max. Alterone has already surrendered. Put him in a prison cell. I'll decide how to best dispose of him in a day or two.
Now, I know you guys see other chests. Don't worry about those right now. Kain, you promised that Alterone would not be involved in any of this.
Quiet, fool, or I'll throw you in the cell with him. Take him away.
As we are taken away. I came to tell the king to fight, but Kate had already convinced him to surrender. Even though I'm in prison, I can still perform my duties. How can I help you? We need to raise Tao and Hans, because they died in the last fight. Don't worry. Hey, we're in jail, Vegeta.
Yes, I can see that, Nappa.
Hey, Vegeta.
What is it, Nappa?
Don't drop the soap. And we'll make a save, because saving's your friend. Don't worry, guys. We're almost to the end of this episode. I promise you. There, my record of your exploits is complete. Yes, we want to continue our adventure. No, you cannot help us in another way. The bars are solid. There's no way to break them. Footsteps approach. The time has come to strike back at Runefos. I'm letting you out. Please help me save Alterone. I'll fight alongside you. I can heal, too. And Chris joins the Shining Force. She's another healer. Last character that joins in this chapter. We can't go this way. They'll spot us for sure. There's a secret passage. Use it to escape. I'll be at headquarters. Please be patient a little longer. I'll get you out of here soon. Now, spoiler alert. It's not really a spoiler. Chris is one of the better healers of the game, but she comes in at level 2, I believe. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's level 2 or level 3. I believe it's level 2. And that is abysmally low compared to everyone else. And there are no more goblins to level off of. There's still dark dwarves.
Lowly worms, I shall crush you beneath my heel. Attack soldiers of Runefos.
Lord Kain, Lord Darksoul commands you to return to Runefos immediately.
Tell him I'm on my way.
Yes, sir.
A shame I can't stay to watch you meet your doom. My troops can handle the likes of you.
So for the most part, this is a battle of building up Chris, as she is easily ignored by any casual player who's never played this game before. You're like, oh, I already have 2 healers, and they're already more leveled than she is. I've leveled them more than she is. I'll just forget her. She's actually one of the best healers in the game, excluding one character who has the potential to be the best, but it's a bit more debatable whether or not he's a good healer or not. But the thing is like I said, she falls really far behind. So we're going to have to play this absurdly vicious game of catch-up to get her caught up. At the end of this battle, you want every character to at least be level 5 or 6. Which we will attempt to do at least level 5 for everyone, because that will then be assurance to me that everyone's caught up. Anybody who tends to be a level higher, more power to you, or to us rather. But yeah, and the other thing to keep in mind too is you might see chests that we opened earlier closed. We can't reach those right now, so don't worry about them too much. So yeah, so I'm gonna level off of this fight, get Chris caught up, and then we're gonna start this fight over, and you're gonna see my strategy for getting through it. So anyway, I want to thank you guys for stopping by. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Check out my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/JackdarStudios for more live gaming action, as well as you can check out our Chairman of the Board show and the Hobo Head Crab Blind Play show. So thanks for stopping by, guys. We'll see you guys next time.